We're previewing Manchester United's next game against Southampton at home with the American Red Devils, and it's a big game for Ruben Amorim. We're coming off a huge performance on the FA Cup, and now it's back to the league midweek game. These games coming thick and fast. They never slow down. We're playing the Saints. We're playing bottom of the league Saints, or just when we need it. We've gotten through the tough patch. We had a very, very difficult run of games, probably the last 6 weeks, probably since the beginning of December, and United got beat up. We had that really, really tough stretch at the end of December where we lost, 3 games in a row without scoring a goal. And then there was the big performance against Liverpool, and then an even bigger performance against Arsenal in London in the FA Cup, winning on penalties. And now it's about getting back to business. Now it's about picking up performances and not dropping the level. We've seen this so many times. United finds it. They find it in a miracle moment against a great team. And then the next game, we've seen this movie before, play like the worst team in the league, and we just either drop points, leave it late, or lose altogether. So this is a big, big moment for United to not let the momentum slip and realize that, this is Ruben's team. It's about turning the tide, and the only way to do that is by showing up against Southampton and blowing them out of the water. We got to treat them like they deserve to be treated, like the 20th place team in the league, and we're Manchester United. So let's act like it. Huge game midweek against Saints at Old Trafford.
Yeah, we have to get used to playing twice a week because we were playing once a week. We looked like a different team, and that's where we got those 2 big results, and now we're back to playing twice a week. So the managers have to rotate. We saw Ugarte come off before extra time against Arsenal. He's saving them, thinking, hey, we got Southampton. It's at home. We also need to show up with energy at home. We need to finish opponents we should be beating. We did struggle against the Ipswiches of the world. So Southampton's not going to lie down and die. They're going to know that we're a United team in transition under a new manager, and they're going to put us to the test. It's going to be, how bad do you want it? Because we're going to have to run. We're going to have to work hard. We're going to be a little tired because we're turning it around on Thursday.
And they have a new manager as well, sir. Southampton, when you're 20th in the league, you fire your manager. They have a new guy in. He's a hard nose. He's coming in, and he's going to have them playing up for it. So not quite a new manager bounce, but they will be motivated. They're not ready to die yet. They are only on 6 points on 20th. So they're by far the odds leader to get relegated this season, but there's still a lot of games left. 18 games left, 17 games left in the league. They're not done yet, so they're going to come up and try and get a big win or at least a draw, which would be a big draw at Old Trafford. So you need to show up. We need to score some goals, and we need to show that we can keep the level up after playing probably our best performance of the season. So our last 2 great performances, but you make a really good point, which is those games came after at least 6-7 days off. Now we're back to 3 days off. What team's going to show up on Thursday?
But one thing I don't want to hear on the other side,
some of the passing is fucking scratchy.
Against a team like Southampton, we have to see Amorim's system, and we got to see bravery passing out the back. It's got to be crisp. It's got to be together. We got to be stretching everybody. The wing backs need to get up and down the pitch. I want to see cohesive attack. I want to see Højlund hit the net. These are the teams where we got to practice this philosophy, this idea that he's brought in. It's like we got to perfect it against the Southamptons of the world, because you saw against Arsenal, we were a little jittery playing out the back. Teams are going to press you high that are elite. It's a little different than Southampton. So if you can't do it against Southampton, how can you expect to do it against the Arsenals of the world? Before we break down the match, let's get into a quick PSA for the podcast, sir. You like the American Red Devils, please support our YouTube channel. Get it off the ground in the summer. Like, subscribe. Only about 30% of our viewers actually subscribe to the channel. It's free. These podcasts are also ad-free, so please check out our YouTube channel. Hit like, subscribe, comment below. Goes a long way for helping our YouTube channel. Also, check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/American Red Devils. You want to go the extra mile, support the pod. It's been a long 7 years running, supporting, doing this podcast.
Year 8 now, sir. We're in year 8.
Year 8, almost 600 podcasts. You want to go the extra mile, support independent fan content. Check out our Patreon page. We drop an extra behind-the-scenes episode every single month. Tons of other benefits. Please check it out, patreon.com/American Red Devils. Also, check out our store. We got hats. We got scarves. We got merch. We got stickers. We got pins. We got everything you need to support this great club. Go to americadevils.store. AmericanDevils.store. Everything you buy supports the Muppet Take. Also, check out our website, AmericanDevils.com. Great fan-generated blog content. Sir, tell them about iTunes reviews.
iTunes reviews and 5-star reviews of the American Devils podcast. Wherever you listen, it's a great way to support the pod. It helps us get found organically by other top Muppets like yourself. And we're giving away free merch. All you have to do is write a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify and send a screenshot of that review to AmericanDevils@gmail.com with your mailing address, and I'll personally pick, pack, and ship some free ARD gear. Send it right to your door anywhere in the world. Appreciate those reviews. Keep them coming. Woo, United against Southampton, sir. Game week 21. It's a big one. Let's get into it.
Let's break it down. We're talking Manchester United versus Southampton, Thursday, January 16th, noon Pacific. More midweek games, sir. That's what this team needs. We're overwhelming favorites. Southampton coming in. They're basically relegated here.
Basically.
6 points. Oof. 20 games in.
They're cooked. That's not great.
They're a wounded animal. We're 13th. We got to climb up that table, and a big 3 points at home is the best way to do it. That's right. We're playing a Theatre of Dreams. Old Trafford. Stretford End is arising. Give me the weather forecast for the fixture.
It's going to be cool and dry. It's going to be in the mid-40s. Light wind coming at Old Trafford under the lights. Like you said, it's going to be 8 p.m. local time. Should be a great game. Alex's Scran Watch. We're getting burgers, baby. We're going to Honest Burgers Company in downtown Manchester. Get yourself, a burger, some French fries. Keep it simple. That's probably the way to do it in England. That looks pretty tasty.
I can get behind this. This is John's Scran Watch all day.
Keep it simple, baby. That's your MO.
Like fried potatoes,
khaki foods
and
do
a
well.
burger. Play to your strengths.
The bun looks good. It looks like a proper bun.
Is that some gravy sauce we got there?
I would imagine, sir. I imagine some of the burgers have gravy. We're talking about Southampton FC, sir. Tell us about the Saints, St. Mary's.
Founded in 1885, the club joined the Southern League as Southampton St. Mary's in 1894, dropping St. Mary's from the name 3 years later in 1897. They've been playing at the St. Mary's Stadium since 2001, and before that they played at the Dell, not the computer company. Nicknamed the Saints because of the club's origins as a church football team, sir. Southampton also shares a long-standing rivalry with the Portsmouth, and they contest the Maritime Derby, sir. So Portsmouth, not their friends. Southampton FC, you see their badge. They got the tree. They got the water. They got the white flower. Don't like them. Don't care for them. Pochettino used to manage them. Luke Shaw played for them. They had a great academy. Now they're going down. Sad to see.
No, they're when we got into the game in the early 2000s, they were mainstay team that you saw every season, week in, week out. They had a really good patch, probably 10 years, where their recruitment was excellent. Then they've gone up and down a little bit. Obviously, they're in on 6 points, on 6th place, on 6 points, and 20th place at the moment. They won the championship playoff at the end of the last season to get back in the Premier League after one attempt. And they got a new manager, like I mentioned, Ivan Jurić. He is a 49-year-old Croatian manager who came in like 3 weeks ago, the 21st of December, and he spent the majority of his time coaching in Serie A. So he's going to have the lads up for it. He's going to have them organized. They like 3 at the back, so like another manager that we know who's also new, and it's got 3 major core principles he likes to rely on. Defensive solidity, so they're really complex. They play disciplined, and he likes to play that 3-4-3 or the 3-4-2-1 with a defensive 3-back. Attacking flexibility, right? So they're not afraid to take risks. I think that's going to be a huge thing for them to get anything out of the game at Old Trafford, is they have to be brave. I want to say the same from our team. And then he likes to use man-to-man marking, super aggressive, and they're going to be in the middle of the pitch trying to win those duels. So I have a feeling this is not going to be an easy game. We always talk about that. They're never easy games, even against a team with 6 points. They're going to come out fit and fire and ready to rock, sir. Getting into their transfers, they spent a lot of money. They were one of the top deal makers last summer. They spent almost £80 million, but almost none of these signings have come off. They sent a high-rated center back out of City, this kid Harwood Bellis. Aaron Ramsdale came from Arsenal, of course. A couple other guys as well. Adam Lallana joined on a free transfer. Ryan Fraser, that guy, he joined on a free transfer as well. Yeah, there you go. Ben Breton Diaz, he's a player that he was on Villarreal when they sank us with the Yellow Submarine. So they spent a shit ton of money. It has not paid off. They are looking to go up and back down.
We pipped them 3-0. They had that red card, but Diaz is a proper troll. And Ramsdale, he has some worldlies as well. He kind of has some good games. So it will be tricky. It's more about United just being able to play out the back, pass well, and adapt to the Amorim system, because this is just you got to just take it to them. We haven't seen a dominating performance like since Everton 4-0.
Right.
Needs something like that. Southampton coming in, drew Fulham, got cooked by West Ham. Crystal Palace pipped them. Brentford destroyed them 5-0. That's what I'm looking for. And then they did beat Swansea in the FA Cup today. So they are kind of a little new juice under the manager. It's going to be a tough game. There is no easy game in the league, especially under Amram, under a new system where he's going to be pushing United to play well. Head-to-head results against Southampton, 169, drawn 37, lost 28. First time we played them, 1897. 1-1 FA Cup we drew, and the last 5, drawn 3, 1-2. They're going to be tough to break down. They got a player, Tyler Dibling. Like this guy, plays on the right for Southampton. He's a young player that I think you want to snipe for maybe 20 million. A lot of potential here for Dibling. He's the one to watch.
Yeah, he was super dangerous when United played Southampton earlier in the season. He looked really threatening coming in from that right wing, only 18 years old. And you know what? There are some players in this squad that if they do go down, United, this is a scouting opportunity because we need dogs. I'm sure there's a couple dogs in this 11 that we could poach because we're going to need players that can hang in the league. He's one of them. But I imagine there's a lot of teams are watching him because he looked like the best player from their side by far when we played them early in the season.
Maybe Anthony swap deal for Dibling there. I would
Perfect.
take it.
All day.
They featured the 3-4-3 when they got coached against Brentford, so maybe they're going to run it back. Referee John Brooks. Don't necessarily have a problem with him other than I think the hairstyle. One of the more calm referees in English football. See him on the touchline often as the fourth official, but I don't have any problem with John Brooks. Anything on the ref, sir?
No, he was the ref for our 4-0 Manchester United win against Everton earlier in the season, one of Ruben's first games. And like you said, the less you know about a ref, the better. The bigger profile of the ref, the worse they are.
Glaring issues.
No, exactly.
Like Michael Oliver refereeing the Liverpool-Manchester United game. Like, what do you mean? United, we're playing under Amram's new system. This is the Liverpool 11 last time we featured in the league. We had Onana, Martinez, Magoo, De Ligt, backline, Delo, Manu, Ugarte, Mazraoui. Then Bruno, Diallo, and Højlund up top. What do you think he's going to do against Southampton at home?
I think this is pretty close to it. I think the only change he makes, he's going to go strong. He knows we need 3 points. I think he drops Højlund for Xerxes just to freshen it up, and Højlund wasn't that effective against Arsenal, so why not give our next guy up a go? But that's about it. What do you think he's going to do to start an 11 against the Saints at home on Thursday?
The real question for me is Diallo, Garnacho. I like to see Garnacho start there. I think you're seeing Rashford obviously talking to other teams and leaving. Garnacho kind of earning his way back into the circle of trust with Amram is good. So if Diallo's healthy, he should get the nod. If not, it will be Garnacho. For me, the midfield, Koyer had a good day out. I'd like to see him sub in if United are winning. That's kind of what we should. But I'd go with something similar to this. I just kind of run the Liverpool back. I don't think you want to drop Højlund yet. I think you got to give him some confidence. Southampton would be the game to do it, and then sub Xerxes on. Xerxes did play much better than Højlund today, but at the end of the day, I think you got to kind of stick with the Dane as the number one until you see otherwise.
He also needs a goal. He's dying for some goals, so this has got to be a good opportunity. You're playing against the worst team in the league. Come on, Big Dane, Big Rasmus. Like, we need you to score, and this is a great opportunity to do so.
Here comes the money.
Dalla, what do you got? Betting.
United heavy favorites minus 350 at home, plus 480 for the draw, and plus 950 for the Saints away. I called it last time, sir. You're up. Given the odds, what is your score prediction for Manchester United against Southampton at home midweek?
First, the quick update. Alex did call the Muppet win in the FA Cup final, so my steak dinner is under threat. Since Amram came in, Alex is fighting back up the table here. You got 37 points. I have 55. Just a reminder of the game. You get the result right, you get 3. You get the score right, you get 10. Amazingly, we've only gotten the score right once each so far this season. Lots of games played. I am going to have to go with the big win. I'm going to go 4-1 to Manchester United. What do you got?
It's got to be a win as well. I think it's going to be closer, though. 2-0 United. I think Southampton keeps it close, and we have to fight for it. But That's what this team's doing now. We're finally showing some fight. And that's what I want to see against Southampton. I want the team to obviously show some fight, but I also want us to come out and play with some confidence, because in order to play Ruben Amorim's system effectively, you have to own it, and you have to go toe-to-toe and just play the way he wants to do so. So if you kind of tiptoe around it, it falls apart. You can't play out the back. So I want us to just show up from minute one and just try and take it to a team that we're much better than, shouldn't cause us any problems. We have to make them look like the 20th place. Like, we have to get back to beating teams up that are in a position to be beat up.
We need to get back into the top
Yes,
half of the table.
we do.
And 3 points against Southampton is a surefire way to get that started. Let us know what you think. Please comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. Help us on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify or iTunes, get over to YouTube. Just hit that subscribe button. It's free. We don't have any ads on the podcast platforms. So please support the podcast. Also, check out our store, americadevils.store. Grab some merch. Everything you buy supports the podcast. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/AmericaRedDevils. And like on the socials. Give us the love. Let us know what you like and don't like about the podcast, because we actually listen and incorporate the feedback. We can take it. We're from North Jersey, sir. Give us our top 10 downloads the last 7 days.
Number 1, how you doing? How you doing? Dublin, Ireland, New York, Houston, Texas, Melbourne, Australia, Chicago, Illinois, Los Angeles, California, Brooklyn, New York, Manchester, England, Oslo, Norway, and Philadelphia, PA. Appreciate all of Americans listening week in, week out. Woo! Lots of games coming thick and fast. January is going to be a big month for Ruben Amorim and his men. We've got to pick up some points in the EPL. We're dying there. The fixture list has turned for United, but now it's about capitalizing on it. We have to get wins. We got to pick up 3 points, and starts with Southampton on Thursday at Old Trafford. Win, baby, win. That's what it's all about.